Hi, welcome to part 3 of the Blender Beginner course. In this part, I'll explain modeling and some lighting tips. So, stick around until the end. If you are interested in learning the latest 3D techniques, particularly in Blender, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Before we begin, let me introduce our Asset Store website, where you can explore a variety of free and premium assets. We offer high-quality game-ready assets and also Blender projects, all of which you are free to use in any of your projects. So be sure to check out our store at store.blackcave.com. In the previous part, we added an HDRI to the scene. You can watch part 2 first. Now I wanna rotate the sky. Make sure you're in the world mode in the shader editor. We can't directly rotate or move the sky. We need to do it by adjusting the texture itself. So we need a node that can change the texture coordinates. I need to select the texture and press Ctrl T, but it's not working because an add-on is disabled. To activate the add-on, go to the Preferences and Add-ons section. In the section, search for the Node Wrangler add-on and activate it. Now I can press Ctrl T to add the coordinate nodes. The second node is more important, so we'll skip the first one for now. The second node has all the fields we saw in the object coordinate section. We can easily move, rotate, and scale the texture instead of the object. Here we need to rotate the sky, but along the z-axis. As you can see, the light direction is changing. Let's also increase the strength a bit. Something important, the HDR resolution doesn't have a big impact on the lighting quality. For example, this texture I have is 8K. Let's load a 1K texture. As you can see, the texture is low quality, but the lighting quality is still good. We can also change the world settings in the world section, where we have some extra options. There are some features here where the strength is similar to the field we have in the shader editor. We can also change the HDRI in this section. In the settings section, we can change the shadow properties. In the sun section, using the threshold field, we can increase or decrease the thickness of the shadow. You need to adjust this field based on your needs. The angle field makes the shadow sharper or softer. You can also disable shadow created by the HDRI. In the shadow section, there are some jitter related attributes that we'll cover later. Okay, now let's go back to solid mode using the Z key. I want to introduce a new topic, modeling. First, we need to understand the object structure and how to modify it. To enter edit mode, press the tab key. There are many options here that we can use to modify the model. We can also go to the modeling tab, which gives us more tools, but many features are similar to what we get when we press the tab key. Let's introduce the first component of the model. The dots on the object are vertices. Let's zoom in to see them more clearly. These are vertices, the basic building blocks of every model. We can easily select them. When two vertices are connected, they form an edge. I mean this line here, between these two vertices. We can select edges by using this tool or pressing the 2 key. First tool is for selecting vertices. By connecting 3 or 4 edges together, a polygon is created. This square here is a polygon, which we can select using the third tool or by pressing the 3 key. We can easily move a polygon or face and change the shape. Press Shift and space. Or by using the G key to move it, or the R key to rotate it. Now let's activate the vertex tool by pressing the 1 key and move it easily. Next, let's try edge mode. Can we select multiple vertices or edges and move them at the same time? Yes, we can. Just press Shift to select multiple vertices, edges, or faces. Rotating a single vertex isn't possible, but when we select multiple vertices, we can rotate them easily. As you can see, it's rotating. This happens because of the pivot point at the center. The pivot point is the reference for transformation, so moving, rotating, and scaling happen from this point. While we can't scale a single vertex. We can also do this for edges. Let's select the Scale tool. Also, single edge scales along its direction, but the scaling in the wrong direction doesn't work. Or we can select all the edges. Alright, now it's time to introduce the tools for modeling. There are many tools here that can apply specific deformation to the model. Let's start with this tool. The Add Cube tool will add another cube to the existing shape in the scene. You can draw the shape manually. Maybe you want to create a model with multiple cubes and don't want to add them one by one using the Add menu. You can do this easily with this tool. If we press Ctrl, we can draw the cube at the vertices, and the corner of the new cube will stick to the corner of the first cube. Or we can press Shift to create fixed cubes. In this mode, the height and width of the cube are equal. Now let's work with the next tool. This is the Extrude tool, which allows us to create a face and extend it. As you can see, we can extend the face by creating a new one. It's not a separate cube, we just extended it. We can also press the E key, which is a shortcut for the Extrude tool. By pressing Shift space, we can also access the left side menu. The next tool is the Inset Faces tool, which allows us to extend the face, but inside the selected face. For example, this polygon or face will be extended inside itself, creating more parts within the cube. If we use the Extrude tool now, only this part will move out. We can add insets multiple times. This tool is very useful. We just need to know which model is needed, and we'll also use it to make a full model later. The next tool is Bevel, which extends faces along the edges. It makes the edges smoother. Each tool has its own settings. We can make the edges wider by increasing the width, or we can make it smoother by using segments, which adds more edges. We can also adjust the bevel shape using the shape field. We can change the shape to a custom one by choosing custom in the profile type. Modifying the curve changes the shape accordingly. As you can see, the bevel shape looks like what we designed in the curve. Let's adjust the settings. More segments give us more points to control on the curve. This is a very useful tool, not just for smoothing, but for many situations. With the next tool, we can add edges to the cube, and it will show a preview of the edge. By clicking and dragging, we can add and move the edge. More edges make the model heavier but more flexible. Now this part is separate. Let's extrude it using the E key. It will extend only the selected face. The next tool is the knife, which creates an edge but not a loop. We can add the edge whenever we want. By right-clicking, we can disable the tool. As you can see, the edge is not looped. This tool is not useful in many cases because we need to create models in a regular way. There are many other tools here, but I'll skip the unnecessary ones. The last one could also be useful. This one will separate a vertex. It doesn't just move the vertex, it separates it. Alright, the tools are done. We can move the vertices, edges, and faces symmetrically using the Symmetry tool or the Options menu. The X-axis applies changes in the X direction as well. Let's try other axes. We can activate all the axes. Alright, there's another feature where we can add subdivisions or more edges. Press A to select all the faces in face mode. Right click and select subdivide. In the subdivide settings, we can increase the edges using the number of cuts field. We can also change the shape of the cube and make it look like a sphere by using the smoothness field. Or we can add some noise to the cube using the fractal field. And we can change the shape of the noise using the random seed. Alright, in the next part we'll introduce more techniques and use modifiers to create professional models. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And feel free to share your questions and ideas in the comments.